What does it mean for you guys to be dream chasers? Like, what does it mean to chase your dreams?
We live?
We love.
We live. Welcome back to the Opinion Factory podcast, the podcast for free thinkers and challenge seekers.
Yes, sir.
I'm Khelil.
I'm Alex, and here we got today. We got two guests today. Two guests for y'all. One, the local legend, the man of very few words, produced for big names like Styles P, Davies, Millyz, etc. Humbeats. Say hello to the people, sir.
Hello.
And of course, his right-hand man, known as LUA Jeff, Level Up Always Jeff, the man, the investor, the manager, the man who makes everything happen, everything click. Jeff, say what's up to the people.
How y'all doing?
Man, y'all are two guys who found a decent amount of success so far. You know, those are big names you've produced for. What inspired you to first start chasing your dreams?
I don't know. It should kind of just happen.
Just happened?
Yeah.
So this was never something you dreamed of when you were like 5 years old and you thought you'd be like have some of the biggest names on your resume?
No.
No?
I had hoop dreams.
You had hoop dreams? So what happened to those hoop dreams? Why'd you quit those hoop dreams?
I was good at music.
Okay. No, that's fair. What has been the hardest? So for all our dream chasers out there, right? You know, people trying to chase their dreams, whether it's entrepreneurship, music, you know, the music industry, fame industry. What advice do you have to those people that have obviously struggled through them, might not have seen this amount of success that you have attained? What advice do you have to those type of people?
Level up always.
What
does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Level up always.
keep on improving. Like don't just get comfortable in one spot.
And how do you? So what's your strategy about breaking that comfort zone down? Because comfort seems to be the enemy of a lot of progress.
I mean, there's not really like a formula for it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like most people just like have it and they don't. You can't really like learn to be like dedicated to something. But I mean, if you want it, then.
So what was when you first started to take it?
That's a key thing. Like it's I think that's really true. You have to want it. Like you have to want it. A lot of people claim they want it, but they don't really want it. If you want this to happen, whether you want to be rich, you want to lose 100 pounds, you want to graduate college, whatever it is, if you want it, you want it. People say they want it, but then they do the exact opposite, or they do shit that it's not gonna get them there. You know, like we're gonna win because we want it. Other people claim they want it, but they will go out and party. They'll go spend their money on this. They'll go, not make time. They'll worry about sleep. Us, we'll lose
I
sleep.
love my sleep.
Yeah, but again, we love success more than sleep.
Oof.
That's the thing.
I feel like those go hand in hand though.
It could, but you're gonna have to choose a lot. There's so many times where we had to choose. All right, something just happened, and I was just about to go to sleep, and then he might hit me up and be like, "Hey, we gotta go to Somerville right now," and then we're in Somerville at the studio for like 8 hours, and then I gotta work again, and then it's like I didn't get any sleep. Some people be like, nah, not today, man. Can we just go tomorrow? Can you reschedule? No. Whenever he's like, hey, hits me up, he's like, hey, we gotta go here. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. Even if it's like New York, or we gotta go to New York tomorrow. All right, bet. What about your job? I mean, if I get fired, I get fired. Well, how do you make money?
Ooh. That's a big one right there.
Oh, yeah, facts.
So I feel like for this one, that's a key to turn in there. You know, if you're just looking at people chasing their dreams and you're like, oh, fuck my job. It's like, where's my money come from now? What is the
You need to
alternative?
fund your dream.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. Like, there's a bunch of guys, like that dude Jordan. In the last episode, they mentioned David Goggins. There's a guy, Andy Frisella, Bridges Cooley, and what they all say, not literally, but they're like, sell everything you own, and you will find out how tough you are. Because that's the only way you will ever really figure out when you're backed into a corner. Lots of people are afraid to go into that zone. If you can't handle that, you don't got it. If you're worried about, oh, how I'm gonna make money, no, you just fucking do it. If you're meant to make it, if you have what it takes to make it, you're gonna find a way.
I agree with that, but at the same time, I feel like it's logical to be worried about backed into a corner.
Oh, 100%. And here's the thing. Fear is a natural thing. You know, even with my cat, if he hears the noise, he'll run. That's the thing. Yeah, it's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to be scary. But that's the reason why people are rich is not because there's like a lack of money to go around. It's because so many people are afraid to go into that shark-infested water to get to the other side. If there's like 5 apples there and there's 4 of us, we'll each get like, 1 apple each and a quarter of the last one. But if I'm the only one who's brave enough to go in that shark-infested water to the other island to get that apple, it may seem like I have a lot of apples because I have all 5. But no, y'all are just too scared to go get it. I was brave enough to say, fuck it, let me go get it. I want
make
to...
sense. You
Makes perfect. I like the analogy too because it's
sense.
perfect. It's a perfect analogy because am I really willing to die or get my limbs taken off or metaphorically I could be like having no money or having like broken relationships with people to get to those dreams. If I'm going through shark infested water, I'm literally like risking a chance of death right now.
Oh, facts. Dude, I had 2 girls I really cared about. One I loved ended because of my passion. And a lot of people want to do that. A lot of people will cut back on it. I was like, no, I want this.
When it comes to relationships, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That's something that...
But and that's everything. Job, we both lost a job. He lost a pretty good job because we went to Cali to make a big move. And, look, the move didn't even work out because, we brought somebody else along and they kind of ruined the whole thing. They destroyed the laptop and everything like that and ruined the whole entire situation. So that was a situation where he left a really good job. Like, he got like 2 raises within like 2 months or whatever. It was a real good job. And he lost it. And, he took the risk of going to California because the person we were going to work with, he was going to go on tour for like 6-7 months or whatever. And, that was a sacrifice that we had to make.
All right, so I get the message that you're saying, but I don't want it to be like, let's just tell everyone just balls to the walls, fuck everything, do this, and hope for the best. There has to be some kind of plan.
I mean, I want to say like one of the only things I would recommend to not say fuck it is your health, because if you're you can't join anything if you're like literally dead.
Which is one of the things why I said I love my sleep. Why I think sleep is successful.
But my thing is you're gonna have to sacrifice sleep a lot.
Sometimes, yeah, I get that. Like when you said that's not sustainable if you just every night fuck it.
That's not gonna be every night, but especially if you're the boss, if you want to be the owner, there's times you're gonna not sleep. You just have to accept that.
Of course.
One thing people like to think that it's gonna be like all fun and games, but you gotta wake up in the morning and be like, some days today's gonna suck. Oh no, make it fun. No. Sometimes you just have to admit today's gonna suck. This next week's gonna suck. These next few months are gonna suck. And it's not being negative. It's just being honest. Like over the past year, I've lost 120 pounds.
Ooh.
And people are like, oh, do like Jenny Craig and all these workout shit and stuff like that, and try and make it fun. But no, it sucked. It sucked. The reward is amazing. I am so happy. I probably just added 10, 20 more years to my life. But I acknowledged, I'm going to be uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm going to have to not be able to eat the foods that I like or drink liquor like that anymore. And go out with my friends because my friends are going out eating pizza and liquor. And I'm going to be the awkward guy just sitting there, so I just choose not to go out and stuff like that. Like, I acknowledge that. People don't like to acknowledge that there's going to be parts that just suck. Even, we had our journey. We loved every second of it. Even the hard times because we've evolved. But there was times where shit just fucking sucked. Like left and right.
And that's all right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I want to focus on because, like, going back to what you guys said in the beginning, how people can't learn to be dedicated to something.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they can learn if they have the right guide. And if you know what to expect coming in, like, no one's going to jump into shark-infested waters if they don't really think they have a chance of surviving. If you had the choice to jump in by yourself, not knowing anything about it, or you had the chance to jump in with someone who actually did it before, or you have someone on the other side guiding you, you're much more willing to do it, much more confident in your ability to survive that.
But you're not going to always have that person.
You're not always going to have it, but I feel like that's something, some people would need that.
And then that's why they can't make it. Because if you need that, that should be like a plus, an added bonus. But you don't need it. Like, if you need it, then you're not cut out for it. Like, mentors...
I would disagree with that.
No, mentors are great, but if you sit around, like, you can't just go and ask people to be a mentor. I'm like, do you know how many dudes go up to me and go, Humby, you're my mentor now? And Avery just looks at him like, no, I'm not.
No, I get that you shouldn't need it, but, all right, so it's great that you can do it without a mentor, right?
I think you need to be able to.
But you shouldn't expect, it's like saying this guy invented calculus, right? And now calculus is difficult for a lot of people to learn, but when you compare it to the guy who invented it, it should be like nothing. So you're saying that we should all be able to just be able to figure out what these formulas are without having to rely on what people did in the past?
If we want to be the best at math, yeah.
Reinvent every single formula that Pythagoras and I don't know who made calculus, whoever did that, whoever...
And you and this Pythagorean...
Recreate all that stuff?
F that guy.
If you want to be the best, you should be able to do it without someone guiding you. Studying something is different because you don't need the person. Studying is different. Because you're talking about some guy who's dead and you're studying his material. But if the guy was alive and you need his guidance, like as a mentor, like that's different. You could pick up a book, anytime and just,
I get what you're trying. No, I get what you're saying. I get what he's saying too. But I feel like
I feel like
it's a balance between, especially like the calculus form was a good thing because it's like almost. It's virtually impossible to figure that out by yourself.
Right, to come up with those formulas.
Yeah, to figure out by yourself.
You can, but that's going to take you, 3, 4, 5 years, if ever?
Oh, yeah. I don't even think you'll figure that out. Like, you figuring it out is like being Elon Musk. Like, that's just not happening. You're not.
No, yeah, that's why Elon Musk, because he just figures shit out. That's what I'm saying.
And those people that are chasing their dreams will not be able to do that.
In the math-related field, if you're not able to come up with calculus on your own, then you shouldn't be...
Well, when you say guide, did you mean like mentor or do you mean studying?
Yeah, I feel like...
Studying is different. You can just go to the dollar store and buy a book and study something.
Well, like, watching this podcast could be something that would kick someone off. Like, you're not their mentor, but you're someone who let them know something that they probably didn't know before. That's like studying.
Okay, yeah. I agree with studying. I'm 100% on board with studying. 100%. I thought you meant just like people should have like mentors. And people need mentors. Because I remember one of the episodes you guys were talking about mentors, but like financing and stuff like that, adulting. And, one thing I disagreed with was that, the whole everyone should have a mentor thing, because I don't think that's really possible. You can have coaches, you can have people helping you, but mentor...
That's the ideal situation.
Yeah, and...
In fantasy world.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of thought you were aiming for it. If you're just talking about, like, studying, again, yeah.
Someone who went to the other side, and now you know what they did, and so now you're much more likely.
But again, you have to make the choice to go and study. Like, I'll never forget when we were doing our taxes, the first time we did our taxes... I did it, and I brought it to the lady, and she was like, wow, did you go to school for this? And I'm like, no, why? And then she was like, this is really good. This is better than some of my colleagues. How'd you do this? I'm like, well, I studied. But I made a choice to go study. Mm-hmm. Lots of people, they're not going to make the choice to go study.
I agree.
They don't, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, because a lot of people expect someone to come in and be like a mentor figure and just help them out. Or even not mentor, someone to just help them out. You should.
Like handouts.
Yeah, handouts.
Yeah, that's not what I'm going for.
Okay, yeah. That's the thing I don't agree.
I was saying that in direct relation to what you said about people can't learn to have that drive. Because I feel like that fear is what's holding them back. And once once they find something that helps them manage that fear, to make them know that fear is okay and that you should do it despite that fear, then I feel like they can learn.
But then did they always have the drive? Then they're just scared though? Or did that person never have the drive? Because I feel like those are two different things in your scenario.
What do you mean?
Like what you just brought up is like
you can't not have a drive and then get it. Like it's always gonna be in you if it comes out.
No, I'm talking about like people with the drive, but then they're too afraid to do anything.
People with the drive.
But I feel like everyone might have. I feel like everyone wants something.
No, but like you said, wanting something is different than like really wanting something though.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we go back to the episode where like we were like struggling to like our usual location was not usable. There's a bunch of things going on in the world right now which I won't name, but our location wasn't usable. Right. So we had to find an alternative, and we were like took us like 4 hours.
Yeah, I remember
to make the spot usable, but that's because we like really wanted to do it though.
Right.
Exactly.
like if like people could have wanted to do something, but then run to that roadblock, and it's just like, oh, like I want to do this, but then this thing happened, so I can't
Then
do
did
it.
they really want to do it?
I think that's what he's getting at,
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
I think that's what he's getting at. Like, there's a difference.
But
In that situation,
want to do it.
yeah, they didn't have the drive.
But I feel like everyone has something that they really, really want to do, but they just don't act on it because of fear, because of lack of knowledge, or whatever it is.
But there's a fear because of a lot of things, like a fear how you live your life, though.
Yeah,
Like,
it could be a fear of a
all right,
lot of things.
All right, for example, why did if you don't mind getting too personal, why did you and your girlfriend break up? If it's not too personal to ask.
No, yeah, okay. I mean, pretty much I was, way too, would hang out pretty much, all the time. And at the time, I was one of those people who was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to school, I'm going to graduate and live this boring-ass life. And, that's what she wanted. She wanted the whole fucking family and stuff like that.
Oh, it's just
Quick.
the family.
I didn't mean it that way. I just meant because of age. That's what I'm thinking right now. And we went from hanging out 5 days a week all the time. And then when I started, helping him out and, partnering up with him, it would cut back. So,
Naturally.
Twice a week. And, she felt like I was choosing him, my best friend of fucking 24 years, and the business over her.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like an ultimatum.
Were you?
Was that the case?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Fair decision?
100%. Because again, I know that I want this. I know I want it more than anything else. And that's the thing. You gotta want it bad.
See, now you got me thinking. Is it possible to want both though?
You can, but it's always gonna be.
There's always gonna be one over the
Yeah,
other.
it's just let's be real. Let's be
Yeah.
real. None of us have kids here, but parents are always like, "Oh, I love you all the same." Bullshit.
No,
I
no.
was not my parents' favorite. I tell you that much. I know that for a fact. My parents love me and all that shit. I'm like, they didn't use me as a cigarette ashtray or anything like that. I know I wasn't the favorite, I didn't get the best grades and stuff like that and all that, nonsense. And, so you're always going to love, and want something more. It's never going to be equal. As much as you want to lie to yourself, it's not. And it shows. It really does show. Because just like, one of your boys, and he's a cool, I met him before, Don Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that stuck out to me what he said he wants to be a rapper. But he also said, he wants to be there for his kids' games. And I'm like, well, that's going to be an interesting scenario. Because if we start a record label and he's under us, I'm going to be like, I don't give a fuck about your kid's baseball game. I'm going to be more polite, obviously. But it's like, you got 12 shows in Europe. I'm paying you. You got a $2 million contract.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who either don't have kids or will miss their kids' baseball game to do this tour in Europe. I'm sorry. I'm not, unless you want to pay out of your pocket and you want to fly a jet back and forth from Europe, go to your kid's baseball game. To Australia, go to your kid's baseball game. If you want to do that with your money, that's fine. But you're not going to do it with the company's money.
No, and I feel like
And that's what I'm saying. People need to realize that this is not, people act like you can just have, when you have your cake and eat it too and stuff like whatever that old saying is. Yeah. And they act like you can have everything. But the thing is, if you try to get everything, that's just greed and you're gonna fall. You're gonna tip over. It's like you're carrying a bunch of shit and you're trying to walk through the door. Like the cartoons, how they would shove everything in a little sack and it's mad huge. You're trying to walk through the door with everything. You gotta lighten the load. You have to in order to get through.
So that goes back to an important aspect of dream chasing, which is sacrifices. Sacrificing your girl for your dream seems like, and it obviously depends on how long y'all been together, but that seems like something that I know a lot of people wouldn't want to take. But do you think you're gonna have to continue to make sacrifices like that throughout, or is that something where it's just it's usually like if someone gives you an ultimatum, it's kind of easy for an ultimatum, right? Someone asks you me or your dream. It's pretty easy to choose your dream.
Right.
Because, my dream's always going to be here.
Right.
God forbid, you might die tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And it's just I do everything to the side for you. But what if they don't give you that ultimatum? Like, how do you feel you'll be able to operate in that sense? Like, do you feel like chasing your dreams has affected other relationships with family, friends?
Yeah, it does.
whoever?
You know, obviously you love the people around you, so you want to make an effort, but, you know, you got to make them understand because people don't take dreams as seriously as homework and, you know, like work. Like, there was times, my parents, like, my relationship with my parents have soured and stuff like that. Coming from an immigrant family, Haitian family, it was nurse or lawyer. And so, you know, even just being an entrepreneur is just, like unheard of. But, you know, like, they don't understand that I love this. This is, like, my job. I want it to be my job. When I said I couldn't do something because of doing an essay, they'll leave me alone. They'll tell my little brother, hey, go play your game upstairs. Leave him. Leave him. My mom would bring me a lemonade and all that stuff. You know, fine. You know? Oh, you're at work? Oh, sorry. You know, they call me at my work. Oh, sorry. I could be working at Marshall, and they would even respect that more. Those time I'm working at Marshall, they'll call me. I'm at work. I used to work at Marshall back in the day, and they'll respect it. But when it's like, oh, I can't because, you know, we got to go do this, we got to go do that, or I'm doing something for my business, or I'm in a phone call for my business, they don't take it seriously. Like,
right.
Oh, you can do it later, or this and that.
Yeah, I relate to that.
And and that's the thing. Like, they don't take it like it's something real. And then that's
until
where
you become successful.
Yeah, and that's where I kind of turn to them and be like, okay, then, like, forget you. You know, I try my best to compromise with you, but you don't even take what I'm doing seriously. So it's like, you look at my thing as a joke. Why am I going to continue to make sacrifices for you? And
So that's important here because when you said that you like your dream more than you like your girl, fair, right? But you don't think on some level you were doing it for the both of you guys? You were making those
100%.
sacrifices for the both of you
100%.
guys?
Every
It
time
wasn't that you were choosing
Yeah.
the dream over her, but you're just trying to set you guys up for the
Every
future.
time I thought about, like, you know, me being rich, like traveling the world, it was with her.
Exactly.
You know, I always say this. It's like, I'm not gonna have my girl be some, like, lazy, you know, girl just lay in the house all day. But I want to have enough money where if she's, like, depressed at work, she's coming home crying, I can be like, babe, quit. I can take care of this for now. Go find something else. Don't just sit down and be lazy. Take a break. You hated that job. You came home crying. Quit. It's not for you.
We'll find out if she hates it for the right reasons first.
No,
Yeah, cool.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If she's being a little punk because all the work is hard. No. But if she's getting, like, mistreated,
Yeah, for
whatever,
sure.
or there's, like, racism, you know, whatever the case is, yeah, then it's like, all right, get out, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, definitely I had her in mind. I even had my parents in mind.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I want to pay off all their debt and all that stuff like that. And it's like, unfortunately, like, they just...
And so do you find that like, you most lose the people that you want to bring with you?
100%. I agree with that. People say it's lonely at the top. Most of those people never been at the top. I've never been at the top. None of us have been at the top. Because, you know, this is not our prime. I think we all have way more to give. But what I realized is I was more lonely when I was around all these people that have been in my life, my whole entire life. I actually felt more alone because I was one of the only people who had these crazy ambitions and these big dreams. And I'd be like, oh, I want to have a $1 billion company and stuff like that. People just look at me and be like, you know, you're crazy, you know?
Yeah, shut up. Let's come to this party.
Yeah, exactly, you know? And I literally had that. And each time we level up, you know, we lose some people. And even though I have less people I hang out with, the people I am around, they're way more fulfilling. Like, you know, like they're way more, because I can talk to them. Like my friend Kevon, he's doing a crazy shit. Like he just came, he was hanging out with the owner of the Golden State Warriors. He's having meetings at Reebok. And I can talk to him and be like, I want to have a $1 billion company. And he's like, me too. And we just get amped and talk about what we're going to do with the $1 billion. And it's like, I don't feel judged or anything like that. And we barely see each other, but I feel like I'm not alone anymore. When me and him, we have some crazy ass, like, random dreams and checkoff lists we're going to do. Like, literally drive to White Castle, like Harold and Kumar, just because we have money. You know? As simple as that. Go to Dubai. expensive stuff. Like, we have, like, so many little goals, and it's, like, just fun to talk about this stuff. Me and Alex always talk about having an all-white party on a yacht while he plays the piano and we all just vibe. Like, talking about this stuff with people.
Step in the name of love?
Hey, whoa.
Isn't that what the video is?
Listen.
On the boat?
Listen. All right?
Piano?
Step in the Name of Love is more of a guitar song.
Okay,
right?
I'm just asking.
That song will also be played after I'm done as well, too. Don't
All
forget.
right.
All right, man. Listen,
But
we've been
yeah,
over this.
like,
I can still bump R. Kelly. We've been over this, man.
it feels good when you know. It's kind of like when you were, say you're in school and you're the only person who likes Nintendo. And then you find that one person who likes Nintendo. Y'all just talk about it for hours, and you guys get amped. And like, oh, and y'all become like best friends sometimes off that. Like, oh, I can beat you in Smash Bros. Oh, blah blah. And y'all just like go over to his house and you start playing Smash Bros. And you create a friendship. And it's like that's how I kind of feel. Because a lot of people in my older, because the truth of the matter is most people ain't gonna make it. They say you're lucky if you and everyone in your old life can all make it. Then you're just fucking lucky.
Right.
So when this happens, do you see do you see, not that you can foresee the future, but do you see signs of like, okay, this relationship will no longer be here in a few years when I'm at a higher level? Like, can you see that happening? Like, if you're like, say you're close with somebody right now, or close with a group of people, and you feel like, okay, I'm chasing this dream, and I know you're not. Like, can you see them not being in your life, and like, is that like something you're willing to accept?
Yeah, I would definitely say at first I didn't see it that way. I think it was more so because of denial. Because, I love the people in my life. I don't hate them, or anything like that. So at first, I did have this delusion. It's like, yeah, because, you can't make people do anything at the end of the day. You can only make yourself do something.
Yeah.
Right.
So after a while, more and more, I started to realize that more and more and more. And it's not even that I wanted to, but I kind of had to accept that. I had to, or I couldn't move on. Because I'll just be staying there, trying to drag them with me. It's kind of like, if your car's stuck on the road, you put it on neutral. And that's fine, and you can push it along. But if you put it on park and the e-brake's on, I'm not going to move it. And that's why I feel like I was doing for some people.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, I'm trying to rally them. Come on, you can do it. Don't get my dreams. Yeah, it is.
I definitely felt that. Yeah.
So I'm like pushing this car that's on, I'm parking and whatnot, and it's not going anywhere. It's okay to help people who at least put the car in neutral, because at least they're trying,
Right.
There's
Or
nothing
they're not
wrong-
actively resisting, at least.
Exactly, and that's one of the biggest problems. Like, people really do resist, and
Change is hard. Change is uncomfortable.
oh yeah, 100%. And again, it's just you have to overcome that and realize if you want this better life, you have to just really sit down and think about it. I'll never forget, we spent so much money on this studio we had in Winchester. Like, so much. Like, over 15,000, probably like 20, 30,000 altogether when we were done with it. The rent was crazy and all that stuff like that. And we loved it. Still loved it. I appreciate it, But we took a trip to LA. The first studio we went to LA, took a shit on our studio we just worked so hard on to get. A couple of days later, we went to his boy's studio that his boy works at. It was $1 million Emmy-nominated studio. Like, Usher goes there, Justin Bieber. They knew Kylie Jenner was pregnant before anyone else did. So they all chilled there. Like, it was popping.
It's vital information right there.
That studio took a diarrhea on the studio and just shit on our studio. And that kind of put it into perspective, like, this is real. Like, we may be doing good, but there's 8 billion people on this planet. Everyone's trying to make something happen. And there's probably hundreds of million people who's trying to make it in music, who's trying to make it in podcasting, who's trying to make it in photography, clothing lines, all the stuff that we want to do. When that reality hits, you're just like, damn. And you don't have time to worry about, I'm scared and all that bullshit. You just can't afford it.
So for those relationships that y'all see that are probably not going to be there in the future, like, what do you guys take any active action towards them? Like, do you still try to give them more pushes, or do you still like, all right, I'll hang out with you knowing I probably won't see you
You should
and
speak on this.
in like 2 years, like how do you feel? How do you go about that process of like, maybe do you like naturally weed out the people out those life that you see that aren't going to be there, or is it just something that you actively do? It's like, yeah, I probably won't chill with you in a couple years, so there's no point in me investing any more time.
It doesn't really like you don't really like have like a list and be like, this person I'm gonna keep, this person I don't. Like that just happens. Like if you're focused on like a goal, like it's just whoever's not in your way. I don't mean like trying to like bring you down or anything, but like whoever's just like not important, I guess. Like you just naturally don't stay around them. And it's like usually it's not even like conscious. You just
so it's just like you just feel naturally fades away.
Yeah, because it's just like if they're not doing anything like for you, like you just.
And how'd you find like those people to respond to that? Like, are they still actively hitting you up to chill or like hang out and all that stuff, or do you feel like
they think of Hollywood?
Yeah, exactly.
Both. But like to you don't care. Like,
but the thing is, so one of the things I worry about is that how when you get successful, when you get popping, when you get famous and everything, a lot of people then want to be in your life, just because you're popping. They're not really real friends. They don't really care about you.
For sure.
And so when you leave behind, or they choose to leave, the friends that were in your life from the beginning, and now you're at the top, and I know how you're saying it's not lonely at the top because you could find someone who has that same mindset as you. But then how do you know that they're really here for you and not just trying to use you?
I mean, some people you can kind of tell just based on like how people act towards you. Like a lot of people with their faith, they wanna be like, I don't really know how to explain it, but like they just
they're
want to
overly zealous.
Yeah, it's like they get more like excited or. Like, you can tell it's fake. I can't really explain it. You can just tell, it's fake. Like, I know, like, people that, like, I've known since, like, elementary school that, like, still call me by, like, my government name. And, like, you can tell it's just, like, genuine. Like, they just check up on you or, like, they just want to hang out with you. But, like, there's, like, a lot of people that, like, they start, like, being, like, oh, like, like, don't forget me when you're famous or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell, like, the attitude changes. It's kind of, like,
but you still think it's possible to find and nurture new meaningful relationships once you get to the top?
Sure. They just gotta have like they gotta be focused on something and you're in the same like wavelength as you are. I think.
No,
or they gotta be like some people just don't like know about your field at all and they just like you genuinely like.
Yeah.
So like
that's real. Yeah.
People like that they like.
But I know where you're coming from though. Like you don't want to lose like all your day ones in the process of going through. Cause like people that the longest, and all of a sudden they're comparative bumps.
Like day ones. Like sometimes they just kind of like you don't lose friendships. You just lose like more time with them. And it's not it's not like they're being fake, and it's not like you're being in Hollywood. It's just like they're doing their thing, you're doing your thing, and it's just like I'm always gonna rock with you, but it's just like. I don't got time to do all the other stuff we used to be doing.
Especially I want to say something about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
It kind of goes back to how people don't take these dreams as important as like other stuff, because it's like there's some people who will feel like, oh, he went Hollywood because we're not spending time on you. Mm-hmm. But it's okay if Billy over there. Oh, Billy has a kid and a wife. How come that's okay though?
You hate families, don't you?
But I've heard Monica has a crib now, so she always gotta pay that. But it's like they take all this as like, oh, these are valid excuses.
Yeah.
But
I see what you mean.
Oh, you're doing this. It's not a valid excuse. You went Hollywood. Yeah,
and I was also kind of thinking about like how celebrities, how they bounce from relationship to relationship all the time. And like even in their songs, it's about like, you never know who's really for you. You can get with somebody that you really think is for you, and it turns out that they're really not. So that's not like a concern that you guys have at all.
But it's like you say, you can feel like I mentioned Kevon, he knew we had a music studio, but he barely knew what we really did and what we worked with.
But he still rocked
And
with you.
yeah, he rocked with me heavy. It was
Yeah.
a genuine. You can feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
You can tell.
Yeah.
I've never been around fake people like that, so maybe that's why I don't really know. But
Oh, fake people. Like a lot of rappers, they kiss my ass because they don't want to piss him off. So I get people like, people in my family that call me JoJo. They would hear him call me JoJo. I introduce myself to them as Jeff. And they'll say JoJo just on purpose. You can tell they say it on purpose just so they can be like, oh, I'm in.
yeah.
I'm in. They want to be
JoJo,
in.
he's gonna like me now.
Yeah. They
Don't you hate when people do that though?
Huh?
Like people call you by nicknames that aren't for them.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't like that.
And it's so forced, and you can just tell, like I get it so much because they want to please him so bad, and they're like, oh, we can't, that's his best friend, and, we don't want to piss him off, blah blah.
You dropped some screenshots, I think, in the past, like people like sending you texts and stuff, like trying to kiss up to you and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
It-
I want you to elaborate on it because obviously,
Dude,
especially with the resume that you two have, like Dave East is a very popular artist, like millions of followers on Instagram. Same thing with Styles P, like a rap legend. Like what did you feel? Like how did you, especially with online, since it's kind of tough. How did you feel like you really navigated who was really happy for you, and then who was like showing fake love?
Oh,
Like, especially like if it wasn't in the form of like texting you, if it was like congratulate online or like reposting or something like that, were you able to siphon through that? Say, oh, I know this is real from this person, and this is fake from that person.
Dude, this kid Joe, I said his name. Whoops. Breaking football. Anyway, he's a producer.
Joe, those are quotes.
We had a studio in Taunton. He lived in Taunton. One of his boys, Devon, who was cool with Joe, and I went to high school with Joe, and we were cool.
Yeah.
Joe knew we had a studio in Taunton. He lived like 10 minutes away. He never came. Although like if Devon told Joe to come, he's like, oh yeah, I did. He just doesn't want to come. When we got the Winchester spot and work with Styles P, Joe comes the same week. Mind you, Winchester is like an hour away from Taunton. So he couldn't visit us when we were at the Taunton spot. We were at the Taunton spot for like, a year?
Mm-hmm.
At the time we got the Styles P thing, we were only at that studio for like 3 months. He was able to go over there, and right there, and ever since then, I could feel, the fakeness. Like, he would be like, oh, he would try and one him up. Like, he made songs with Dave East, like 10 years ago, when Dave East was even popping.
Yeah.
And he would be like, oh, you work with Dave East too? I got 4 of them. How much do you have? Because at the time, he only had 1.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, first of all, his 1 was worth way more than your 3 you had. Because your 3 was when no one knew Dave East.
Yeah.
He worked with Dave East when Dave East was popping. But he's always trying to do these little jabs to him. And it's like, oh, yeah, I did this too. It's never, oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
See, and that brings up a good point. So outside of that fakeness, have you found people that you've had that like genuinely root against your success, or have you found people just
Besides
being
your
like,
parents.
or have you found just people like being fake towards you? It's like, do you have like, I don't want to call them haters, but do you have people that like kind of go out of their way to spite
those are
you?
haters.
Well, I mean, we call them haters. Like go out of their way to spite you, or like talk down on you to other people.
Nah, people
or try to.
Nowadays, people don't do that because it'll be too, like, the image will just look too stupid. But people definitely, like, there's like a lot of like fake love for sure. Like that's the main thing. People it's just a lot of fake love.
No one hates openly anymore.
Not really. If it's hate, it's private. But like even that, like it's rare.
Yeah.
Like they really gotta hate you if they want to like show hate to you. Like it's like no one's just gonna be like you suck. Like need that shit. Like,
No, it's fair. So especially for y'all, how long y'all been doing this? The music thing?
I've been doing it for like 10 years.
10 years. So what have been like? I mean, obviously y'all are like close best friends or whatever. But what have been some of the, outside benefits that you have found? Have you ever weighed those against like the cons, like the pros versus cons when you've done this, or you just like I'm so into my dream?
Outside people, you mean?
Outside
Just
benefits?
like just outside benefits, like benefits that you've had that have come through. It's like the studio, like I call that a benefit, even though it's your work of business. Like, what are some benefits that you've had
I got one,
that have come from this whole thing?
I got one. One thing that I really love the level up always thing. He just started saying it, and it was just like natural, and I really embraced it. And I always wanted to help people. Like ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be like a superhero and like save people and whatnot. And that's why I started helping him. Because I knew how it felt to get your dreams crushed. Because when I was 16, I was obsessed with mixed martial arts, obsessed. And I was one of the best, and in my gym, and this other gym approached me, and they wanted to sign me, $20,000 contract for the year, free equipment and all that. But I was underage, so I couldn't sign. So I had to get my parents' consent. They're Haitian, so that answers the question. They said no.
Wow.
Yeah. I spiraled into depression. I was drinking like crazy, and I was pretty much drinking to kill myself, just to be honest with you. I did not want to live anymore. I did not care if I lived or died. I didn't give a fuck. I was reckless as hell. And, I gained a whole bunch of weight. I lost my martial arts body and all that whatnot. And I seen him where he was working his ass off. And his parents would start getting on his back and whatnot. And all that, people who claimed they'd be there for them, they weren't there for him. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you know what? I don't want him to feel the same way I did. Because when he gets to that point where you don't want to live anymore, a lot of people don't understand. Like, a lot of people like to self-diagnose themselves as depressed. I'm actually clinically depressed. When you just don't want to live anymore, like, it's a weird feeling. And I didn't want him to get to that point. And I'm like, I'll help him out. And that's how I kind of started. I was just so good at helping him, he named me his business partner. And so that's one benefit where it's like I finally felt confident because the type of person he is, again, like he's a man of few words, he keeps to himself. I know he does not just like sharing his info or letting people touch his stuff. So like the fact that, he let me in and, like I know his social and everything because I help him with the taxes and stuff like that, that's actually really boosted my confidence. Because I felt like I was good at something. Because I always hated school. I was never good at school and whatnot. And the only thing that I was good at, mixed martial arts, I was told it was wrong and whatnot. So I finally started to feel confident. And fast forward, with the level up always, I was telling everyone, level up always, these rappers are making excuses. I was like, no, you gotta level up always, no excuses. And then one day I just looked at myself in the mirror and I was just like, man, I let myself go. I'm like, I can't be telling people level up always and help people achieve their dreams when I can't even help myself. And, I was 375 pounds plus. Mm-hmm. And then, this is like last March. I've been helping him for like 5 or 6 years, but it was like last March it finally clicked. Because we really started to embrace the Level Up Always brand about like a year ago. And because it was just really Humbeats and OJ Poppy and whatnot. And I told myself I can't help people if I can't help myself. And I just went at it. And I lost like 120 pounds in like 8 months and whatnot. And I think what saved me was the fact that I got into this. Like the Level Up Always mentality. Him trusting me. And, it's like the fact that he trusts me so much, I'm like, I can't let him down. Like me being overweight and not, like if I'm overweight and I can't even move, I can't be there for him, And, just all these things help me. And the other thing is patience. We had to go through a lot of shit. Me and him never smoked in our life. That studio we spent so much money on, we got evicted for smoking. And we had no chance. It was Winchester, White Town. We weren't going to last there. All the other tenants were white and stuff like that. So these rappers, even though we told them, oh, no more smoking, when they would leave, they would go smoke outside. So we could have hammered it down, but, whatever, we got evicted and whatnot, getting the laptop thing I mentioned in California. The broken laptop ruined that opportunity. So much bullshit, but it was patience. It takes patience to keep on going no matter how much bullshit happens. And that contributed to my weight loss because there was so many times I just wanted to fucking quit. Mm-hmm. You know, I look at the scale, I'm like, I'm not losing weight.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
eating, counting calories suck and stuff like that. But what I learned with the business is, it's not always going to be fun. And I started to realize fun and happiness aren't always together. You can go out and drink and, you know, have fun, but you're still a miserable
big facts.
fuck.
Big
yeah.
facts. Yes, yes.
I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I lost 120 pounds. That was fun. But I'm hella happy.
Yeah.
You know? And I started to see the difference.
I love that story, man.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's the scars that the battles that me and him went through, I embraced all those. And it's like, you know, like David Goggins said, now I look at it and I'd rather fail again and again and be like, all right, bet. How can I get out of this?
I'm happy you mentioned that though. So was there ever like, especially going through your mental headspace that you were in, like low confidence at the time, like letting your like losing the contract and ever, was there ever a time where you felt like if this didn't work, like that's it? You know what I'm saying? Like where you're going through the process of building your business, building your brand, and you're already like low on confidence or you're not as happy as you were before. Was there ever a time where you thought, oh, maybe I should quit? Or was there ever a time where you thought that if this doesn't work, then like I will lose myself?
Yeah, I had my like quitting moment when I was 25. Well, that was like the threshold I set. I was like, if when I turned 25 in February, 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2018, February
Yep.
2018. I would quit. Well, not quit music. I would, you know, kind of make that the back seat and just go back to school, all that stuff. But that was like the year that the debut stuff happened. I got my debut played in January 2018.
A month before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So do you felt like having that hard deadline helped you, or was it just, did you feel like it became arbitrary at a point? Because if you saw, like you were seeing progress, obviously, as you wouldn't got the Davies if you were just like, you know, still at the same spot you were when you started. Did you feel that hard deadline was arbitrary now, or just like didn't have as much meaning as it did before because you were already making so many moves now? Or did you feel like I need to get this Davies thing or I'm out, or like something similar to Davies or I'm out?
Like it I wouldn't say it like made the Davies thing like better.
Yeah.
But it definitely, I don't know, it gave me a different like drive, I would say.
Oh, so that's success.
Cause like
yeah.
I felt like it was like while I made it, I was just being stagnant. Like as much as I worked, it was just like I wasn't like improving. I guess like I was technically, but like I just didn't feel like I was doing anything better. Like I felt like I wasn't.
Like you
like,
couldn't see the results.
Yeah, like I just like every song I like every new song I would produce like locally or something like that. It just didn't feel like I was doing something bigger than like the last song I produced or something.
How did that affect your drive then? Like we had this whole discussion in the beginning of the podcast about like people have drive, some people don't. Did you feel like that affected your drive of just your willingness to make beats now? Or it's
Yeah,
like,
like I said, I felt like I was stagnant, so I was like, if I keep on just producing songs that like, you know, that doesn't make me feel like I'm a producer. I just felt like I was just making beats and giving them to people.
do you have that same fear again, like of losing your drive? Or is it like, and do you think when you have do you think if you lost your drive, you could have refound it though?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like I would just like stop music forever or just, you know, saying like slow down with it, but it probably would have came back. Something probably would have happened, but who knows?
One thing that I do, and I remember we were talking about that, like my brother and you and me, and it was about like not celebrating too hard. Like this guy Andy Frisell talked about the 24-hour rule of bragging. Like you should only brag for 24 hours and just shut up. And that's what I try to do. Like I would celebrate like a little bit, and then I'll take like a photo and put it back. I put it like in an album in my head. And what I do is whenever I'm feeling down now and I'm starting to lose that drive, I open that album and I look at it because it's fresh. I didn't just leave it out like most people do. They'll get one thing and there's a certain individual who made a song. They got like 500K and they didn't make a song for 3 years after. He just bragged about that one song. Like he like I got 500,000 plays and he just bragged about it 24/7. Me, I don't like bragging about my accomplishments. And what I do is I just save it. So when I get into that dark time, since I didn't like brag about it, it's like kind of like fresh in my head. And I'm like, you know what? When I, especially like my weight loss, for example, I'll be like, when I'm struggling with my weight, I'm like, you can do this. You know, you lost 120 pounds in 8 months. You can do this. But if I was the type of person, which a lot of people do, they go around strutting and act like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm losing weight. Yeah, that's how you gain the weight back. You know, like, but if you just like keep going and you save it, and it's like, hey man, you can do it. You've done it before, and that's the thing too. Like, and that's why I hate these whole stupid participation trophies. I remember my little brother, he brought home, I guess soccer. It was like a baseball soccer team, I forget, but he got like an 8th place, and I knew that. And he brought him a trophy, and I was like,
yeah. You don't deserve that shit.
I'm like, did you get 8th place? And he was like, oh yeah. I'm like, throw that shit away. And he was very young, because I wanted to put that in his mind, because people are like, oh, well, you know, everyone should be happy. I don't know about anybody else. I think losers say that you're happy with 8th place, because they never won before. I don't know about y'all, but winning is fucking amazing. Winning is one of the best feelings ever.
They say winning isn't everything, but it is the only thing that matters.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I feel like when you get these wins, you know, when you're down in that drive mode, like you don't have enough drive anymore, it's like the gas that refuels your drive. Because like, bro, remember, like that's why when me and him, sometimes we just talk about all the bullshit we went through. And we kind of get motivated because it's just kind of like, yeah, we went through this.
And even little victories. Like, I know you, like, not participation trophies, not because you played, but like, let's say you probably handled the ball a little bit better than you did in the last game. You can count that as a victory that can give you more confidence for the future.
Yeah, because
right?
effort, when you actually put in effort, like real effort, that's so important because you actually feel proud. And you know, it's like when you go to the gym and then you're like, all right, I'm going to do 10 reps or whatever. And then you go home and you're like, man, I could have done 2 more.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like annoying. So it's like, that's why what I do when I go to the gym, I max out. You know? Like, I make sure that my arms are shaking.
This guy's a piece of shit, man. This shit's all he did to me. This shit's all he did Monday, man.
What did
Dude
you
just
do?
kept trying to one-up me at the track. I got real sick of it, man. Because we got like this 2-mile Mondays that I've been doing for like who knows how long. But it was obviously a break during my basketball season of coaching. It's my first day back. I run my 2-mile, good. Then we do our usual sprints, and I'm like, all right, I'll do 800 yards today, right? 800 yards is half a mile. So that's half a mile of sprints combined, like accumulated. So
Real quick,
like 50s and 40s.
The same day, I woke up at 5 in the morning. I did CrossFit for an hour and a half. I went to work for 8 hours. I ran back home 4 miles. I went to mixed martial arts, and then I went to the track with him.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I'm here. It's my first day back in probably like 2 months. I ran my 2-mile at a horrendous, I ran my 2-mile at 24 minutes.
Yeah, I guess you ran it, bro.
Yeah, it was very, my slowest in a very long time, but rusty, whatever. So I'll do these sprints. Sprinting felt okay. And then I'm finishing these sprints, and I see this guy, and he was trailing behind me, but then he just keeps doing one more. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to let you beat me. So I do one more. Shit went on for like another 30 minutes. legitimately another 30 minutes. So I was going to stop at 600 yards, and I was like, all right, I might as well get to 800 so I can sprint half a mile. We ended up at 1,600 yards.
So who won?
I don't even remember. I don't remember. It was just like that type of thing where I feel like having the person also like that helps you out too. But those wins, especially like to go back on your point, looking at like those videos of me dunking, that was my main reason for like wanting to lose some of the weight. I started dunking again. Like I played a ton of basketball, and I'm able to see like I'm dunking with 2 hands and shit like that. It was like those small victories.
Mm-hmm.
Like just looking back, I don't watch it all the time, but just watching those again, it's like, all right, yeah, let me not eat this one tonight.
So, you know, like, you were kind of testing me with the track, too. That's the thing. Like, and that's the thing with, you know, dreams, too. Like, I forget what's his name. It might be Les Brown. He said motivational speakers aren't supposed to tell you can't or don't, but that's a lie, because those are the most powerful motivations he ever gotten. And when people tell me I can't do something or I shouldn't or stop, it actually drives me to do it more, because I want to be the one to break that reality. It's like, oh man, you're gonna hurt yourself. I'm like, you're comparing me to a weak motherfucker.
I feel like that's a great point, though, especially like finding your triggers, because not everyone's gonna have the same trigger. Like some people aren't gonna feed off that negative, like they'll view it as like negative reinforcement. They're not gonna feed off that.
And you see, I'm like he's one of the most humblest people like on earth. Like it's crazy how humble he is with basketball or beats or whatever. But like I know, like when he wants to like wipe the floor with another producer or whatever, he'll do it. He'll be silent about it too. Like, and he'll wipe the floor with him, And like me, like I'm more of like, because I like, contact sports. So I've always been like the aggressive type. So like I'm just like, all right, motherfucker, all right, let's see if I can do this, whether it's challenging myself or not. Like, and even like when your parents or your friends or whoever like ridiculing you and saying you can't do this, can't do that. Look at the people who are criticizing you. Take a good look at them.
Yeah.
They're not even on your fucking level of what you want to become. My dad was arguing with me about saying, oh, Warren Buffett's wrong. And I'm like, no offense, Dad, but you're broke and he's not. It's like,
valid.
He has a point.
So it's like no shade. I'll take your 2 cents. You might have a good idea. But I'm probably going to listen to Warren Buffett before I listen to you. You're trying to tell me what I'm going to do is not going to happen, but what the hell have you done? You haven't done, the things that you've done doesn't compare to what I want out of my life.
It's like taking relationship advice from someone who's in a toxic relationship.
Exactly,
And so it's like taking relationship advice from Derek Jackson? I don't know that. You know what that is. Y'all know who Derek Jackson is.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, instead of getting mad, take all that stuff, whether it's your parents not supporting you or whatever, and just leave it. That's another source of fuel. When you're pissed, just think about, man, just like you said about the whole whatever, do you want to eat that piece of candy? Pain will get you there, man. Just sit there and think about, like, one way I lost weight is when I look at, like, a pizza, I believe that pizza was a bunch of pain again.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Me hating my life and stuff like that.
One of the books that I read, it said that, I think, who was that? That big motivational speaker guy.
Tony Robbins?
Tony Robbins. He said that, I like he knew who I'm talking about, the big motivational speaker guy. But I think he was the one who said that people will do more to avoid pain than they will do to get pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
And so one of the things that he recommended was, when you have a goal, think about all the pain that you would feel if you didn't do this. Mm-hmm. Right? And he harkened back to like ancient human beings, right? When you're in the wild and you're hunting for food and you finally see this apple tree and that's something you want, but there's a lion right underneath the apple tree. You will do more to avoid that lion, right? You will act on your pain of encountering the lion more than you would act on your desire to eat that apple.
Yeah.
So he was saying that people will do more to avoid pain.
It's like I mentioned earlier with the shark-infested water. And other thing Tony Robbins said, which I love, is burn the boats. You take your boat, you row it to Dream Island, and then you burn the boats and bridges so you can't go back. What happens? You're either going to take over the island or you're going to die. And those are the 2 options. When you're chasing your dreams, you have to be like, it's either I get this or not. The moment you're like, oh, well, maybe I'll get a 9 to 5 is the moment you start to slow down. The moment you have plan Bs is the moment you start to slow down. And the other thing, like, I like to put in my head, I still live with my parents and whatnot, and a lot of people are like, oh, man, how do you do it? It seems so annoying. It is annoying as hell. But again, one thing I like to do is I like to play with the odds. Like, with the odds of me becoming a millionaire owning $1 billion company, it's like, what, 0.001%?
Seems pretty optimistic to me, but...
Exactly. You never hear, oh, the odds of moving out your parents are crazy. So, I respect people who want to move out. That's their choice. But they're going the easy route because I don't care what you say. It's easier to move out your parents' crib. Me and him, I remember I did the calculations. We spent over $100,000 in the past 5-6 years on this business. We could have easily moved out. Easily. But I play with the odds. What's more harder to do? Becoming a billionaire. So I'm gonna put my energy into that rather than moving out. Cause you have to choose.
Mm-hmm.
Cause now when you move out and you got bills to pay or rent to pay, you're making it even harder for you to overcome those odds. You know, it is. And that's what you're doing. So you have to focus on what's harder. And when you don't, it just shows you don't want it as much as the other person does. You know?
It's like targeting the weakest muscle in the gym, right? If you know
Yeah.
you got a weak core, it's probably going to do more workouts to get that up to speed.
No, exactly. You know? And that's how I look at it. A lot of people, they just, hate their parents or the whole 20s. I'm in my 20s. I got to have fun now. Alcohol is always going to be available. Unless there's some kind of crazy law. A lot of this shit going out, going to Disney World, traveling, all that shit's always going to be available. Opportunities aren't. And another thing, too, I am no longer going to help people who don't need the help. Because that's one thing I realized. There's a lot of people, I know a lot of them are faking it, social media is deceiving. But me and him go through shit where it's like, it just sucks. It just fucking sucks. And I know you guys had trouble, sometimes, doing, finding a location for your podcast, or, you might have a software issue with your laptop, but you're trying. My friend Kayvon, he did a fundraiser, raised $50,000 to take, 50 underprivileged kids from the hood to a Tony Robbins event. And with this whole sickness going on, it got canceled. Now, by himself, he's trying to get refunds on the flights and the tickets for 50 kids, including himself and his staff. I feel bad for people like that. But the people who I see who are popping balls in the weekend, not taking it seriously, acting like it's just going to happen, they're either stupid, have a magic genie, have fairy godparents,
Misguided.
or have, it could be misguided, or whatever, I like to call it stupid. Or they have some crazy plan that maybe I just don't know about, and maybe they're good. But if they're good, then why should I waste my time helping them? Right. That doesn't make sense. There's people like us who are losing sleep, who will lose relationships, who sacrifice so much. I sold my own blood to help pay for rent and equipment and to get by when, again, I wasn't working because I lost my job. I sold my blood, pawned my camera and stuff like that. Pawn my not your PS4. I'm going to get rich, and when I do, I'll buy 10. But you see, people are afraid to give that away because they think they'll never see it again. I am confident. I got rid of my car. I wanted to focus my health and my businesses. I got rid of my car. And because it was too much money. Oh, but I'm going to be able to get 100 cars by the end of my life. So I'm not worried. If you're worried, you're lacking the confidence that you're going to make it. So if you don't believe in yourself, why the fuck should I?
No, that's true. So, and I'm hearing all the things that you gave up. Was there ever a point in time where you guys thought, all right, this is too much for me to give up right now? Maybe it was a temporary thing, like a car, oh, it's too much for me to give up my car because I might not be able to go to the places we need to go to? Or is there something that, I just can't sacrifice besides health? Was there anything besides your health that you guys just felt, whether it was temporary or long-term, that I just can't sacrifice to reach my dreams? I just can't lose this part.
No, because...
No.
Yes, no. I'm about to pass it to you, but no. Because, when you know what your why is, my boy Kayvon is thinking my purpose, when you realize what your purpose is, that's one of the best feelings, by the way. I had a lot of shit happen to me, and I'm surprisingly calm. 5 years ago, I would have broken down. But when you know your purpose and why you're doing something, your why will overcome any how. When you know why you're doing something.
I like that. Yeah.
How is not going to matter. If my little brother's in the fire, I'm going to go like hell to go save him because I love him. Period. And then I'm like, oh no. Like, no.
How hard is it?
Like, you know what I'm saying? You know? So it's like, yeah, when your why is like set in stone, you know why you want it.
So I feel like there's you either really have a good handle on what your why is, or you just hit rock bottom. Because a lot of times people will hit rock bottom, like, yeah, something has to change, and it has to change right now. Like, it could be a breakup. For a lot of people, it's like a breakup. Or it could be like losing your job. Or it could be like looking in the mirror and realizing, yeah, this is not okay.
Dude, yeah. When I was a 375-pound fat piece of shit, I thought about a bunch of stuff. Other than I can't help people, I'm like, yeah, when he's getting his Best Producer Award, I'm going to be on TV like, no, fuck that. I'm going to be up on stage, like, yeah, we told you, motherfucker. Like, I'm mad animated. That's what I'm going to do. You know? So it's like, yeah, it was rock bottom. Like, dude, this is not good. I mean, you can argue, because a lot of people rock bottom, the doctor told them they're going to fucking die. You know, and Dr. David Buss, he's like a psychologist, he said, unfortunately, most people above the age of 21 or 22 only change through trauma. They don't change through positivity, and you can do it. So if you don't have that drive we mentioned earlier, you're probably going to have to hit rock bottom. And guess what?
It's tragic.
Yeah, a lot of people hit rock bottom. They may come up, but they're going to do some stupid shit. Like, you know, there's girls who, you know, do some shit. Like, you know, Jennifer Lawrence, she admitted she did some shit with Harvey Weinstein, you know, just to get by, you know, and stuff like that. And, you know, Terry Crews kept his mouth shut from getting sexually harassed because he wanted to get by. You know, some people are just such in a situation where these people actually worked, you know, they actually worked and they actually had passion. Now, the people I mentioned earlier who don't have the passion, who are just going out every weekend, drinking, smoking, whatever, I don't know what the hell's going to happen to them. You know, because at least Terry Crews got by, because he wanted it, even though he had to face some bullshit, and Jennifer Lawrence had to face some bullshit. But these other people who don't have the passion at all, I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to have so much regret in their life. I remember I worked at a nursing home, and all the old people would tell me, hey, Sonny, do what you got to do, because I'm old right now, and I have so many regrets, and I can't do shit about it. I'm bedridden, I'm going to die any week now, and it's the worst feeling. And I can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine that horrible feeling of, like, you know, you guys had an episode about, you know, second chances and whatnot. And whether you forgive the person or not, you have the ability to forgive the person. You don't have the ability to just go back in time, as far as we know. You know? And whether you believe in God, whether you're an atheist, whatever the case is, this life, we get one life and then we die. We really don't know what the hell happens after. So why are you wasting your time settling for shit? You shouldn't be settling for anything. You should try to live the best life you can without hurting other people, you know, but live the life the best that you can, because, you know, this life is not...
So it sounds like, to get started, you need to have a strong why, or hit rock bottom, or have this crazy...
Wait, real quick, I don't think you need to have a strong why to get started. I think it's fully okay if you want to just drive a fucking Lamborghini. That's not really a strong why. But
that's what you really, really want.
Yeah. But it'll probably change.
But aren't you fearful of those people that have, like, those material goals? Like, once you... if your thing was, like, I want to be a millionaire, right? And that was just your goal. Or not even a millionaire. Like Lamborghini. I want to have a Lamborghini. What happens when you get the Lamborghini now? Like, you know, like... Yeah, but then your life continues, though. So you're not fearful that you might become, like, depressed or, like... I'm not too sure what the term is for, but, like, once you...
Complacent?
Yeah, like, once you hit that pinnacle, you just have that hangover, and, like, it's like, now I have to find out something else I want to do in my life now, because I literally accomplished my life goal. Now what?
That's why most millionaires do kill themselves. Like, a lot of ones who do. 100%. But...
So it's like, so you're saying you don't need to have a strong why, but do you think...
To start, because...
No, yeah, to start, but do you think it's important to have, like, a why that can always be...
Evolve.
Yeah, always evolve.
I think...
If your why is to, like, I want to be able to like do
Dunk with two hands.
yeah, right? Like if I'm able to do that, and then that's all I want to do, then oh shit, I dunk with two hands and I just get fat again. You know what I'm saying?
I think you have to be aware. Like I said, I started this to help him.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want him to be in the same boat that I did, and even though that's still a part of it, now it's bigger now. I want to help people like us who are depressed, who want to end their life, who hate you, who just aren't happy, and I want to let them know you can chase your dreams. So it changed because, you know, what got you there won't get you there. So if that's what got you there,
Yeah.
that's fine. But you just have to be aware. Just be aware and understand that, you know, look at your surroundings and appreciate your hard work. A lot of people don't look at their hard work and they're just looking at the end goal.
Yeah.
You know, as much as I want the end goal, again, a lot of times me and him just reflect, man, we went through a lot of bullshit, didn't we? And that's what made me be more strong, and that's what made me embrace the level up always mentalities, because I'm like, damn, we went through a lot of bullcrap, and we're still going.
Mm-hmm.
Like he says, level up
And
always.
that's where I was going with that. So I wanted to identify the traits that you need to get started and also the traits that you need to keep going, because I feel like there's some overlap, but there's definitely a distinction between those two like desires, really. Like, what do you need to get started and what do you need to keep going? Because like you said, to keep going, you need, for example, patience, right? But that's not really something you need to get started. So what would you, if you had to identify those traits for those two scenarios, what would you say they would be?
Shit, I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah, you might just have it just now.
Well,
yeah, I feel like some things just like come to you, or you just dream about some shit. Like, I feel like you don't even need like a trait to get something started, except for maybe like imagination.
Right, but like when it comes to like fearlessness, right, you need some of that, or like some like courage, something to help you take that leap to dive in with the sharks, so to speak. Like that takes a little something, at least.
Yeah, I feel like it depends on like what you really want to do, cause like everybody is different. So like some people just have it, some people don't. Like some people don't need like that fearless. Some people just do it. Like
Right.
like and some things you don't need like that fearless just to get started. Like I was just doing music. Like I just did it.
Yeah.
Kind of it was random. Like it just happened. So it's like sometimes it just starts when like it just happens for you. And
So it wasn't really much of a leap for you. It was just like you did this and then it just
gradual.
grew.
It just like it just worked. Like
Mhm.
sometimes shit happens and it just works out for you. Like if you're like some people don't even know like that they have a skill in them, and they just figure it out one day and they're like, oh shit, like.
Right. And so what about like to keep going then?
Yeah, so some people like have a skill and they don't even know like what they want. So it depends on the person. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
like me, like it was just random, and but yeah, to keep going, I feel like you definitely need some like you need to know like what you have in front of you, and then I feel like you can really do it. You know, it's not difficult. It's not complicated. People just make it more complicated than they need to.
Mm-hmm.
So.
and you know, another thing too, like, cause I've seen plenty of people, you know, with skill and never do anything with it. So I wouldn't even really say it's fearlessness. I think you need fear. If you're not afraid, then you probably do something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you don't have FOMO, if you don't have fear of missing out, you're probably not doing it right. You know, like for
Fear
me,
is good. I agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, you know, for me, like, I am not like the best. Again, he's the producer. He gets all the, you know, all your Humbeats and stuff like that. You know, so I don't really get my skills highlighted. I'm not really the best at anything. The main thing about me is I'm not willing to quit, and I acknowledge that I hate my situation. I hate my life, and I don't think there's anything wrong. I think you shouldn't hate yourself, but you can hate your life.
Your situation.
Yeah, you know, like for example, like you can. What's his name?
I feel like situation is a better word. Yeah.
But it's like Adam Sandler, you know.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. Like, he's one of my favorite comedians. I hate Jack and Jill. I hate that movie. It's trash. But I may like the actors in it. I just don't like the movie. And the reason why I say life is because my life was, I was a fat piece of shit. I was going to get a 9 to 5. That's your life. Your day to day.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do anything to get away from it and to live a better life. So it's just like you have to draw the line in the sand.
And I should clarify that when I say fearlessness, I see how that sounds. What I really meant was like fear of failure.
Oh,
like you should have a lot.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be afraid of failure.
Yeah, that's that's a big thing. People are afraid to fail and look stupid. You know how dumb I look? When I was like 375 and I started running, I was like an idiot. I was like flopping all over the place. My toenails were popping off and I was just so heavy. When I was trying to do like stuff at the gym, I was doing it wrong and stuff like that. It was repetition. It used to take me like an hour and some change to read 10 pages. And I would read like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept on doing it over and over and over. Now I can read 10 pages in like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. And this only from a year ago. And that's because I kept on going at it. And people are afraid to look dumb. They're afraid to look stupid in front of people. You know? And that's the thing. You know, like...
You think your whole life got to be a highlight, but it's not.
You know? I mean, he's a person, again, man of few words. But there's plenty of times, like at the Newberry Comic event, where he had to go on the mic in front of a crowd and speak.
Yeah.
And he probably was feeling like he looked stupid. He was probably feeling like he feels uncomfortable. But he did it.
And
that's
the more
the
he
thing.
does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially someone who plays sports. There's always a famous saying, especially a person who does a lot of stuff with like film and sports and all that type of shit. There's a really famous saying. It's like I make a bunch of highlight tapes for myself or the people, like friends, whatever. It's highlights make you feel good. Watching your highlights make you feel good. Watching your lowlights make you better. So like replaying those times where you messed up and how you could improve really helps you. Like anybody wants to celebrate their accomplishments or like, oh, I crossed this guy up or I dunked on this guy, whatever. But then seeing where, oh, I could have made that pass, right, and we would have scored. Or if I got this rebound, we could have won the game. Like that's the type of stuff that I feel like people really have to focus on. And to wrap this up, I really want to ask you a question about overall question about the theme. Like what does it mean for you guys to be dream chasers? Like what does it mean to chase your dreams?
I mean, I feel like dream chase is just, you know, when you're passionate about something and you know you want it, for one thing, you won't let trivial shit get in the way. You know, like hanging out, going for drinks. Like, the fact that holds people back, majority of people back, is why most people won't chase their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's one thing. You have to don't let these trivial, stupid shit, or I'm in my 20s, shit block you. You have to be willing to give that up. Understanding it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be fun. It's pretty simple. You put in the work and you're going to get what you deserve. But, you know, just chasing what you want, knowing what you want. Sometimes you have to outline your sacrifices. Yep. You know, doing a budget, counting your macros. Same thing with dream chasing. Outline your sacrifices. Literally write down what am I willing to sacrifice, and then look at it and tell yourself, okay, I'm just going to sacrifice, you know, not watching TV. If that's the only thing you're sacrificing,
figure out the price of success and pay it.
Is not watching TV, is just not doing that, is that going to get you billions of dollars? Or is it sacrificing TV, drinking in the weekend, video games, going out on dates, and then it's like, okay, yeah, all of these, 10 years of my 20s gone, then it's like, okay, yeah, that's worth $1 billion.
And of course your sacrifices will be a lot more if you're trying to chase $1 billion dream, but like when you make this list, like say if you were somebody that did have this $1 billion dream, or like you said, the $1 billion dream might have evolved over time from what it was when you guys first started. Like when you saw that list, like for people, like say my dream job was to work at Facebook and be an engineer and make like 250, 340, like 400K a year and have a 9 to 5, but I can still see my kids now because I'm working 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. Right? Where do you feel like those people will be able to relate to type? Do you feel like those people can relate to what you're doing?
Oh,
or do you? And where do you feel like how do you feel like they'll relate to what you guys?
Yeah,
are
dreams
saying?
are not always about money, and the problem is, again, you have to know what you want. The people who I mentioned who are going out drinking and flexing and stuff, they don't know what they want. They say they want this, but they're doing that. And they say they want this, they're doing that. And I always say, why are you torturing yourself saying you want the Lamborghini and the big house when you're not willing to work for it? One of my brothers, he's a very simple man. I respect the hell out of him. He does not care about Lamborghinis or big houses. He just wants to make a decent enough living and have an apartment to himself, get a cat and a dog, and mind his own business. Very simple, and I can relate because that's a goal he wants to accomplish. And he's very close to it, and it's a very obtainable goal, you know? He owes no debt and stuff like that. He went to community college and paid that off. He paid his car off. He's good. You know, my other friend Kevin, his words exactly. That place we worked at that we hated, he liked working there. He just wants to be promoted to a supervisor, get a BBW, what's it called? Get an apartment, get 2 cats and a dog. He did all of it. It didn't take that long compared to what we want, but it's still a dream, and he's living it, and he knows what he wants. He stayed at that job. Like, you and me quit, and we're like, oh, this job sucks. He stayed there, worked his ass off. You know, he got clean. He's been sober. He used to do coke. He's clean 3 years now. He has the tokens and everything to prove it.
Word.
He got his girl, the BBW he wanted, and all that.
Hey.
It's you have to know what you want. He knew what he wanted. Like I said, me and him have stuff like the ability, you know, to not have to have a dress code. We can go to the studio and wear whatever the hell we want. That's a goal. We can't do that working for somebody else. If they say wear this, wear that. Drive to White Castle Wednesday at 12 p.m. in the afternoon just because. We want to be able to do that stuff. You know? Just because we know, like I said, we have so many specific goals. It may be corny, it may be big, maybe expensive, maybe inexpensive. But we have the tiniest goals that we just shoot this shit and talk about. Oh, we want to get this, we want to get that. And we know what we want, and we know that doing A, B, and C is not going to get it. So we're not going to do it.
So in a nutshell, for you, if I'm understanding correctly, dream chasing is knowing what you want and knowing what it takes to get it and acting on it.
100%.
All I'm gonna say is just go get your dreams. Like, I'm not gonna like sit here and tell somebody like there's a formula to go get your dreams, something like that. Like, you just gotta do the shit and like make it happen.
Right.
Cause
Didn't
like
Obama say that? Just do the
everybody
work?
tells me like that, like you gotta like there's a famous like Kanye thing, like make 5 beats a day for like a summer or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yeah, I
like
saw that.
to me, like I would never do that because that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
But it's like if I make 1 fire beat a month for a year, like, and that's like that makes me get better, like, then just do that. Like whatever works for you, just
Right.
like figure out what works for you, and just do that shit until you get your dream. Like there's
Right.
no formula, there's no path, there's no like secret code. Like just do the shit. Like,
Right.
it's not
Consistently do the
hard.
work.
Consistently do the shit that works for you. Like if you fucking have to, I don't know, pet a cat before you fucking
Facts.
go to a fight. Like
Because people look for the magic bullet, and that's the thing, you know, like,
do it.
you know, and that's the thing, yeah, you really just gotta go and do it, and the thing, you have to know what now works for you. If going out on the weekend and drinking and flexing wasn't working for you, then fine. But then don't come over here and bitch and moan like, oh, I don't know where my life is going. You know? Like, we have bumps in the road, but overall it's working. Like, for me, I tell myself I'm not going to do cheat meals, and I'm not going to drink a drop of liquor until I'm like 10 years, maybe 10 years in a row where I'm a good weight. And people are like, oh, no, but you got to live a little. No, but for me, you don't get to 375 pounds if you have a fucking problem. So I'm not going to just cheat because I'm live a little. For me, that's not going to work for me. I know that the odds are against me. 94% of people who lose the weight gain it back. So for me, hey, if cheating works for you, and it's working for you, not just saying it to, you know, oh, live a little, that bullshit, it actually works for you, then fucking do it.
Whatever
Yeah.
works, just do it.
But for me, it's not going to work for me. I know if I have that cheat meal, I'm going to spiral down. I know that. You have to be honest with yourself. People like to act like, oh, I can get through everything. No, you can't, okay? Be honest with yourself. Say, well, if I do this, I'm going to get lazy. I know I am. it doesn't work for me. But this does. So I'm going to continue to do it.
We call
You
that
know?
meta thinking.
Yeah.
All right, man.
You know, ultimately, level up always. That's what it is. No matter who you are, level up always. You always have room for improvement. Learn, adapt, evolve. Level up always.
You heard the man, and don't. While you do that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share the video, share the audio. We're on Stitcher,
Yeah.
Spotify,
Apple,
Apple.
Stitcher, Spotify. Before we go, let the people know where to find y'all. Your social Instagrams. We'll start off with you, Humbeats.
At Humbeats, at Level Up Always.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty simple.
Instagram, yeah.
Mind you, this at Humbeats, the one who did the jingle for the Opinion Factory. It's like a little jingle.
If y'all like that,
Of course,
he's
of
the
course,
who
of
behind
course.
it.
Of
And
course, man.
me, LUA Jeff, C, the letter C in the end. That's me on all platforms pretty much. You know, you can
Jeff with a J.
Jeff with a J.
Okay.
Opinion Factory Podcast, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify. Anywhere you listen to your podcast.
Take 2 seconds to subscribe and like the video, and you will still have time to level up always.
Share with your friends. See y'all next week.
Yeah, click the bell notification.